Welcome to the Wolf's Den,
the podcast where passion,
hustle,
and collectibles
collide. We spotlight the leaders and innovators of the hobby, women entrepreneurs, female athletes, breaking barriers in sports, business, and collectibles space.
From rare finds to business insights, we bring you personal stories of perseverance, growth, and what's trending in today's industry. Whether you're a new collector or returning to the hobby or a leader forging their own path,
this is the Den, where the hustle never stops. Welcome to the Wolf's Den, episode 1. My name is Sharon Chong.
And I'm Siobhan Collins. Welcome to our first episode. We're so glad you're here to join us.
So, what is the Wolf's Den?
Well, I think it's a space that both you and I are looking to create for collectors. My biggest passion is learning from leaders and learning from innovators and people that are successful. And I hope to bring that to the public. What makes you successful? What keeps you thriving? Things like that.
Okay.
What about you?
To me, the Wolf's Den is just giving a voice to women in this space, sports card world, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of women in this space that works behind the scene, but now we're trying to kind of highlight them basically. But not just, this podcast is not just about the woman, but it's also leaders, collector, could be collectors, anybody that we could tell their story, a collection, a special collection, or how they became the CEO in, a certain business, or a certain athletes, how they got to where they are, basically.
Perfect segue into how did you get started?
I love Michael Jordan, obviously. 90s, 80s, kind of aging myself, but I used to, I got caught one time using my portable TV by my teacher in class because I was watching the playoffs. So I started then, and then it led to buying sneakers, collecting sneakers, and then going home from school, I saw some packs basically that I opened, and then next thing you know, after a couple of years opening those wax, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? And my mom's like, get rid of them, So I Googled and found like a show in New York area. And the guy was nice enough to kind of give me a spot and say, why don't you just sell your stuff, And fast forward 20 years, still doing it. I love it. It's special to kind of do what you love, and
Absolutely.
and being an entrepreneur, it gives you a certain freedom to chase other passion that you have, instead of working 9 to 5. It's a joy to do that, basically.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mm.
So in terms of your start, by the way, this was in college. You were
Yeah.
in college. What would you say some of the challenges were back then, for you? So, because I remember that I was when you first started, we were still in college.
Yeah. We didn't have a car. We had to like lag our sports car to the train, it's a New York lifestyle. And, it was a good start. We didn't get any like, my parents didn't give me like, oh, here's 50,000 to start your business. It's basically as a side hobby. I used to manage a distribution for in Diamond District, so that was my full-time job before this, and and then I decided to just 100%
I was
focus.
a broke college student. I was broke.
No, but like every
Definitely.
college
Yeah,
student,
I had no job. Well, I did have a job. I worked in athletics,
Yes, like any
in the laundry
athletes.
room.
Yeah.
I remember that was the worst duty.
Yes.
I didn't mind the weight room, but I worked in the laundry room. Back then, minimum wage of $5.80. I remember seeing that sign up. So
So every dinner and lunch was on me basically
yeah.
for like few years.
Sharon was
So
one of the ones working. So
so basically, it was fun. It started as a hobby, but after I graduated, I told my parents, "This is, I think, what I'm gonna do." They weren't happy,
yeah.
but
Did they think you were gonna sell sports cars? CARS?
no, because
No.
my mom didn't see me driving sports cars.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
no, but they saw a lot of sports cards. So I basically Googled the show, that I could kind of sell all those cards. My mom wants me to get rid of them, but instead I did that full time. So
And yeah, that's I think right around 9/11.
yep,
Um, I think in terms of the jewelry
yeah.
industry, it was not basically a lot of businesses
Well, it's a luxury
shut down.
business.
It's a
Yeah,
luxury
it was a
business.
luxury business after 9/11, so they kind of have to let me go at that time.
Yep.
So it was perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not everyone could be a business owner, so you got to be self-motivated and stuff like that. Chase your dream, and if not, you go back to your parents and say, "Oh, go back, go get a 9 to 5 job." So that's not happening. So
Yeah.
I worked hard for that.
You sure did.
Hmm.
And, it wasn't easy. It
No,
definitely was not easy.
that's
Uh,
probably one of the struggle, in the beginning, because it's really a boys' club. You know, uh, it, for you to be even part of the group is hard enough. But being a female, it's like, oh, who is this girl? Thinks she knows about sports.
mhm, mhm.
But I help during college. I helped the softball team, the basketball team. Kind of help, so I know about scoring. I know about sports basically. So that kind of helped a lot, and I also know about stats. And that helped me a lot. So knowing that it's a boys club, I kind of prepared myself to be ready for
A
any
nerd.
questions. Yeah, a nerd. Yes, I was blessed to have a photographic memory, so I used to remember all the box score. Like I don't sleep till like 3 o'clock in the morning because
Yeah.
I literally go through minor league box score, rookie A ball, hockey box score, football box score. So October is like the toughest month. Every sport is playing. So
Mhm,
I used
mhm.
to like memorize who's hot, and what's the name, what are the names that's gonna be hot, not just today. It's gonna be hot in few weeks from now, a month from now.
Yeah.
So it was like
You
great.
really have to like, oh, this
Yeah,
guy's on a streak. This
yeah.
guy's got 7 home runs in the last,
Mm-hmm. And you
10
gotta
days.
you basically build the mental chart in your head,
Mhm.
like this kid could be, and what this kid could be good, and what stats is relevant that sells. If
Yeah,
you if
that's
Yeah,
huge. I say that again. Like,
well,
what is the relevant stats
yeah,
that sells?
it's like a guy that
Yeah,
bats 400,
yeah.
or 350, walks a lot with no home run, might not sell.
You're right.
Or a guy that just hits home run and
He's
strikes out a
batting
lot.
230.
Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
So you got to learn those. I basically had a mental chart, kind of like, oh, what stat is great, and then what affects that player in the sports cards
Yeah.
world. So it doesn't mean you're performing, you're batting 400 doesn't mean you're going to sell. So those are the stat that I learned from the beginning that are important. And then when a kid comes up to me, or who you going to invest in, those are the knowledge that I kind of pull out.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, those are like secret knowledge because you don't share them, years ago,
Mhm,
because you
mhm.
want to go to the show
Right.
and kind of buy
That's
buy
your
those guys.
advantage.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
you worked for that.
Yeah, you earned it, and it was a lot of studying, a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
But now, at my 20 years doing this, it's good
I
to kind
think
of
we
share
can
those knowledge, you
we
know.
can chat. Can we chat GPT? Who's the hottest baseball player?
You could,
Like,
if you train
yeah,
ChatGPT, yes, it's possible.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Now
yes.
we're living in a world where we can
Yeah.
hey
And there's a
chat.
lot of tools.
I think we used it one time. Like, hey, who should I collect?
Okay, I didn't do that because
I did
I
it.
won't rely on that, but you know.
Okay, I'll share next episode. I'll share ChatGPT's answer on my question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the struggle, but how about you? You've always been with me for 20 years. What were the struggles that you noticed that was like there besides the point that I brought up?
Yeah, you definitely brought up a lot of good points. I think standing out, distinguishing yourself.
Hmm.
I think earning your reputation, um, that you eventually, I think, became accepted as a collector and not just a female, but as a
Yeah.
collector in the industry. Um, the work that you put into brand,
Hmm.
well, come up with a company name. I think the hobby has changed. Like we call it a hobby.
Hmm.
Um,
It's a business now.
right. It's now a multi-million dollar, billion-dollar
Yeah.
business.
And
And a lot has changed since then.
yeah. And some of those boys club are has become some of my friends still right now,
Yeah.
and has become mutually respect each other, and that's the good part about this hobby. It's the people, they'll test you, but they'll respect you if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
basically. That's one thing
Yeah.
I love about the hobby.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that's fair.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
can't you
like
can't
anything.
like with anything. I can't accept you,
Hmm.
at your word,
Yeah,
you know.
it's
Uh,
proven in time. But you
yeah.
also brought up another good point about branding. 15, 20 years ago, nobody really branded. Like they
We
don't,
were in the
yeah.
basement of churches,
Yeah, yeah,
15 tables on a
yeah,
Sunday. We
yeah.
were in a dance
Mm-hmm.
studio at one point, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
card
And
shows. Yeah.
we made people are making fun of us because we're like, we have banners, we have, stickers, we, postcards even to give discount away, and nobody did that before. It's
Yeah.
like, so,
Because it was a
yeah.
hobby,
Yeah, yeah. But I always looked at it as kind of like a hobby, but also, as a job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the one thing I would say that even in hindsight, I didn't think, you know, it could make you a millionaire. I never
Yeah.
thought that. I'm not saying I'm a millionaire, but I saw it out there
Mhm.
that, the cards that we own and sold,
Mhm.
you know, like the Kobe limited logo with that A, like it
Mhm.
was just such a sick card, right?
Yeah.
And probably sold it for 4,000 back then. That was a lot of
Mhm.
money. But
Now
it's
they're like 70,000,
70,000. No, but never did I think
Yeah.
that it
Mhm.
could be that.
Yeah.
And, that's like one of the things that we had to learn, like live and learn in terms of that, if we had that foresight. Um,
Well, definitely. When this started, it was just a job for me. I never collected them because how are you going to buy the next card if you held on? That's like one of the biggest questions a lot of people ask me. Oh, if you held on all the whole collection. If I held on the LeBron Exquisite, I will not buy another card again because, I
you
need
can
that
buy the
20,000.
Giannis
Yeah.
national treasures,
I
right?
need that 20,000 to buy the next. I looked at it like as it's a job, like I
Yeah.
always tell people, it's like a real estate agent. They can't like, oh, buy the lot. Oh, this is going to be a good lot in 20 years. So you'll never sell anything. But instead you have to sell and make money.
Yeah.
And then after 10, 15 years, a little bit previous to COVID, I start holding a few assets
Yeah.
for the company, and it start like, instead of just me advising people and giving them some of the advice and asset, I start building my own side portfolio
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So that's mhm,
That's like one of the biggest thing we did, and I know that you're proud of is
mhm,
the customer base you've built
mhm.
and the collection you've helped them build.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that not a lot of people in this hobby did before. So I helped a lot of people kind of build their portfolio. Some of them don't even do card shows,
Yeah.
but we went to their house and kind of told them what's a good investment. And I'm proud of it because at the end, when they want to show me those collection,
Yep.
and it has, drastically went up,
Yeah.
and then when they're ready to move it, they kind of tell me too, Sharon, I want to sell some of this.
Yeah.
One guy, I remember a father was like, I want to sell some of the cards to you, back to you, because my kid is going to college. So those are like nice. I like that
Mm-hmm.
whatever I
Mm-hmm.
sold them has 5x.
Appreciated. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And that's how I looked at it. And then I started to like start saving for myself basically. And
Yeah.
that's where, kind of like in this business, it's hard to, instead of just saving money, because it's hard to save while you're still building the business, but you
Mm-hmm.
have a stash basically, kind of like a 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think if you had the ability to like buy one for the customer and for
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
we would have
Yeah.
a lot of Tom Brady contenders.
That's true. Well, like, that's a good actually segue to how to, this is like number one question people always ask me. How do you kind of, what's the best advice you give to a new person that's coming into the hobby, or going to a show? How do you what's the best advice?
Right, for someone that's looking to start. I mean, we just got a question about someone was looking to come into a young girl wanted to collect
Mm-hmm.
WNBA cards,
Yeah.
and now we're helping that family start their WNBA collection. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the first answer is, who do you like?
Yeah.
What sport do you like?
Mm-hmm.
um their reasoning for liking that person, because at the end of the day you want to look at it regardless of its worth
Mm-hmm.
and be happy with what you have.
No,
And
that's very important.
yeah.
Hmm. So that's the same answer. I always tell people. I guess you kind of copied my answer, but you heard me enough.
Maybe being around you for 20 years,
Yes, 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 yes. No, but that's how I always tell people. People are like, oh, who are you buying? No, no, no. I return the question by saying, what do you like? What
Yeah.
sport do you like? Who do you like? Because in
Yeah.
the end of the day, you want to invest some time in your collection. You know, a lot of people ask me, oh, why don't you do vintage? Because it's easier, it's safer. Um, it's boring to me. I like something. I want to collect something that I could see the athlete grow, get better. There's a little risk. It's like higher risk, higher, big reward type of thing. And that's how I see. Um, that's how I collect and how I grew my business basically.
Yeah.
So but getting those collection is not easy.
No.
you know Besides looking at stats, when to buy them, how to sell them, when to sell them is like a big question.
Right.
It's like now football season just started. You should have sold 50% of your collection, quarterbacks, and then now you're just gambling who did you keep, that type. um that's the best part about collecting. Always teach people to, like, if you like Mahomes, don't collect Mahomes because you like him, not just because, oh, he lost 2 games and now you're not
I
happy
mean,
about it.
that would be a good time to buy.
Yes, well, he just won 1 game again, so it's like I took a gamble and buying
did,
one.
did he who did he beat? The
Yeah,
Giants?
the Giants.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
about to say I took a
Okay.
gamble and bought a national treasure, Russell Wilson,
Oh,
and
oh,
guess what?
oh. Who said during the Nationals, why are you buying Russell Wilson?
You did.
Okay. Okay.
I took one gamble
All right.
just in
It
case.
was.
Yes, just in case.
And
But
how's
now,
that gamble
well,
paying off, Sharon?
today
Yeah.
the news is he might lose his job,
Oh,
and
so Jackson Dart. Uh-huh.
Jackson Dart could be starting this weekend.
Yo,
So
Russell Wilson is like an enigma to me.
I know.
Like,
Could have been.
I remembered being in our coach's apartment watching the Super Bowl for him to go
Yep.
three-peat. And that
No. Second one.
oh, that was
He
the
only.
second one?
Yeah, he never won.
Oh my! And I thought this
No.
and we had 3 of his national treasures at the
Yeah.
time. They were like
Jersey
around
number. Yep.
35 because we had bought 6. Like
Yeah.
someone, like we had bought Aaron Rodgers and Russell
Russell
Wilson,
Wilson.
exquisite and national treasures.
Yep.
Like we just lucked into that.
Yep.
Like
We didn't
6.
buy Andrew Luck when everybody was buying Andrew Luck,
Yeah.
And then we bought Russell Wilson. Yes.
And we were sitting there, and I remembered my hopes and
Oh,
dreams
yeah.
just dashed when he threw the
They
ball.
should have won that. They should have won that.
Obviously, but
But I
I'm
think
like,
that was the turning point for his career.
oh my
but,
goodness,
Yeah.
it's
But that's
that
the
guy,
fun part.
He needs a
and
therapist.
That's the fun part and the heartbreak of this hobby.
That was like, we were gonna be set. Those cards were gonna be 7,000 back then. 7,000 was a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
We were gonna double up on our profits. Like, oh, we're gonna be yeah. And you know the Seahawks patches, right? Like
Yeah.
everything had a
Logo.
a Seahawk, in the patch. Like they had the craziest logo.
So with that said, how do you kind of get ready? How do you buy them?
I trust my instincts.
What do you mean by that? How do you get your
Okay.
instinct? So that's one thing I like to teach people, how to sharpen those instincts.
Okay. I don't know if you can. Like I just know that I have good instincts when it comes to looking at an athlete, looking at their performance, and deciding, are they a winner or not? That's my only.
Yes.
I don't know who else has this ability.
Yes.
But I feel like I have this ability.
Yes.
To decipher, this person's a winner, this person is not.
Yes.
And I've been able to advise you on who's a winner and who is not. Whether Sharon listens to me or not is debatable. Debatable. So that's my superpower. You got the photographic memory. I have this ability to look at an athlete and decipher. I'm going to say around 90% of the time. I can't help it if they beat up their girlfriend. Like I'm just saying, I just can't help it if they do that. Like some sort of things. Like I don't know what's going on in their personal lives.
Okay.
So,
but
yes,
that is
on the court.
But off the court, things does affect the card.
Obviously.
So
that I can't predict.
That's one thing we can't predict: injuries and off the court issues.
Right.
And obviously it has affected the hobby.
Yes.
Sports card world and Zion, John Morant.
Yes.
And that type of thing. And Kawhi, always injured, that type of thing.
Yes.
So that obviously affects their sellability.
Yes.
But so how do you, that's what I mean, as a collector going into a show, how do you, I guess instead of asking you, I'm going to tell you, like, you got to be ready basically going into the show. Do your research, why this athlete, is the guy to buy, So I think that's one of the things before going to show, instead of like, oh, I see a very nice shiny card, let's buy that. No, kind of have like 4 or 5 names who you want to buy already, and kind of weigh it, why you're buying him, why you're not buying him. Don't just go with, oh, who's trending, who's not trending,
Right.
So that's
it's easy to fall into the
hype.
I call it a trap. You call it a hype of because I guess in a crowd sharing thing, it's like, if you asked a crowd 100 people this question, like they'll get to the answer.
Yes.
So,
but sometimes those are the loud voices,
right?
Yeah, but sometimes it depends who has the mic, obviously, and sometimes they copy each other. So I always tell people that I talk to is like, not everyone with a mic gives you the best advice. At the end of the day, you need to decipher which of those advice do you believe in, and you buy those guys basically. So
So I'm like thinking, like going into the basketball season, who's the rookie that you're thinking about buying? Who's the rookie you're thinking about buying?
Ooh, basketball. I don't know.
You're not even ready for that.
No, I'm not ready for basketball. I'm still stuck in my football days.
Okay.
Well, number one,
All right.
Luca,
So
I'm buying, not
okay.
rookie, because I think he's slow, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, we look at market where it's at now and
Hmm.
where the potential could be. So all right, your favorite season is football season right now.
Yes.
So for this episode,
Well,
who were you buying in the off season and who are you still buying now 3 weeks into the season?
so we had a little issue with our recording, so we are a week late. So, but I just want to tell you, in our original recording, I did say Trevor Lawrence and obviously Hertz and then Herbert. Those are the three guys that I was thinking of buying, and
In the
because
off
they're a little
season?
low.
Okay.
Hertz, even though after two Super Bowl appearance in 3 years, are still super low,
Yeah.
lower than Jordan Love. Um,
Yeah.
so basically,
Do you
s-
do you think Hertz is low because he has a lot of autographs out there?
no.
I
Um, he's kind of known like he's not a stats guy. Like he doesn't
that
put up
is, he's
numbers
not
like
going to win
Lamar.
MVP.
He's yeah. He I think there was a poll that came out. He's like not even in top 10 in MVP conversation. Now I think he moved into top 10.
Week
But
3?
yeah. So it's kind of like laughable. He's so cheap. It's like perfect example. I know people are gonna be like, oh, because I have that card. But the one of Jaden Daniels going into the season, autographed black finite, sold for $500,000. Bought by the owners of the Commanders. And I have the exact same card of Jalen. And everybody's like bugging me. Oh, you should take it. You should sell. I have two offers of 100,000 on two offers, and I told both buyers, who could get close to 130. One guy showed up and kind of like, oh, let's trade. That's I'm like, no, I went up. I want to be at like, if Jaden could be 500
Right.
at least. Herbert,
Hertz.
I think sold for like two something before. So I'm like, and if this is Mahomes, it's like a million.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. What is up with Hurts? Does he have to win like multiple maybe? And it could be that he could win maybe three Super Bowl. Then
And
he'll
then
start selling. So I think the card, his card market still has room, and I think people are sleeping still. Oh, he already did that, but he'll never win an MVP. I'm not sure, but he might. But he's just
right,
not a
because
stats guy.
that was the knock on Curry, right?
Yeah,
Curry won 3 championships and never won a
yeah.
Finals MVP.
Until he did.
Right. Until he did.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so and then he took that elevation. Back to Hertz. So we need the owner of the Eagles to pony up and either, if he thinks Hertz is 2 times Jaden Daniels, which is what I believe, then he should pony up.
That's true. It could be. Now it's a challenge, right? Okay.
There you
Let's
go.
let's hear that. Okay.
Um,
A little bit WNBA. It's a playoff. It's already the second round.
our Liberty's out. So
Yes.
condolences to Sharon and
Yes.
I
Because
can't
I'm
give
not very
myself
happy about my
not
Liberty. Yes.
yes. No one
Um.
is happy with the Liberty performance.
Yes, they are too. The players are not happy also.
As,
So with that said, though, but the WNBA playoff is in full gear.
yep.
I think my bet is still Vegas, Minnesota Lynx, possibly
Yep.
in the finals. And with that said, and that ties into our promo that we have with eBay. So I'm excited. Contact us, and this is like an opportunity, for us to live our consignment basically and submit some WNBA cards and or other sports too, but it has to have some WNBA to consign with us and at a special rate. I think 5,000 and above are like 95%. With
Yeah.
all those details, it's gonna be posted in our social and in our website. So that's coming for more information.
All right.
Mhm.
So Black Jaded Wolf is in the consignment game now.
I guess so.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
all right. So I guess to end it, we're going to go into our rapid fire.
Okay.
What was the very first trading card I owned? Uh, who did I pull? Who's that Yankee? Who's that
Orlando
Yankee?
Hernandez.
Oh, El Duque. Yes. I don't have it.
You want to put up a little backstory? No?
No,
Okay. Okay.
it's rapid.
Okay. Kirby Puckett. Lunch break. Opened some wax across the street while I was still working with the Diamond District, and then pulled it. So happy, biggest pull. And then one of the cards that I got rid of that I should have kept, but just for sentimental value.
It's like your first dollar. I am buy what I like.
Okay, buy a slab. I love opening wax. That's how I got started. It's an addiction, you know.
It's an addiction. I gotta keep her out the store.
So Frank, which is my manager, won't let me open any wax in our store. I have to buy it from other store because I'm not allowed to open anything. Yep.
Ooh. Serena Williams. It's always my answer. Hey, Serena.
You want to give a little backstory to that? Why you have Hey Serena?
So I was actually on the Michael K show and chosen to answer the question. Chosen to ask her a question. And
the people.
I forgot. Like I took Sharon's sheet and wrote like three questions, and I was selected. And the person was like, "Don't say hi. Just just go ask your question."
And that's it.
I thought that was rude. I'm meeting Serena for the first time. I should say hi. So I said hi, Serena.
I think they edited that out though.
I think it's still there.
Okay.
I think it's there.
What's the question again?
Athlete in the Wolves Den.
Lou Gehrig, my favorite Yankee. I want to talk about his struggle with ALS. When he got diagnosed, but still kept it and still played for a few years. Just those type of things. Yankee first baseman. So.
I say Ant-Man.
Why?
Just That's what I'm going with for now.
You gotta have why.
No. It's a rapid question. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
You'll figure out the whys later.
Juju Watkins.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So with the podcast going forward, I would like the viewers to, kind of interact with us. If they have any question, DM our, the Wolf's Den podcast and send us, if you want to be asked us one of the questions during the segment or probably one of our rapid fire questions, let us know. What do you expect from the podcast?
In terms of future episodes, I think this first episode, we got to know a little more about you, about BlackJadedWolf, where you started, how you started. And I think going forward more in depth, like what keeps you going, what allows you to thrive in this space, what keeps you motivated. And I think, getting special guests and interviewing leaders and innovators in the hobby and in business.
Yeah. So 2 episodes probably going to be us, more about BlackJadedWolf and who's BlackJadedWolf, that type of thing. But it's also kind of like a template of what we will be asking our guests, how they got started, what they think of the hobby, what are their struggles. So it's basically what the questions we're answering is going to be some of the questions we want to ask our future guests,
Yeah, and how they manage those struggles.
Exactly.
I think, yeah.
So yeah, that's what we expect, and it's more like a conversation, with other athletes, CEOs, and potential collectors that we'll be interviewing. I'm very excited about this. I'm very passionate about it, and people are commenting too. So we just started the Instagram account, and we'll be putting it in YouTube, uh, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So we'll be in different channels, and hopefully, we need you guys to interact with us. So,
Yeah, we look forward to definitely.
mhm.
We're going every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We'll produce
yeah,
a
yeah,
episode. We'll lock down the exact date. Every
yeah,
episode will drop.
hmm,
We'll have it on our calendar,
hmm,
so you guys know exactly and
yeah,
when it will be released. And you hope you follow us.
yep. Follow us. Thank you, everyone. That's it for episode 1.
If you like this episode, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.